Morning, everybody. Welcome to Lockpod.
Oh, a voice we haven't heard in a while.
That's right.
Look at this.
We're Indiana's
Locomotive.
Indiana's most dangerous podcast. Fairly popular in Belgium.
We missed you.
Thanks. It was nice to take a week off.
Yeah, it was.
I needed it. We don't tell you guys when I'm taking a break, but I needed a break.
Because we want you to make sure that when it's just me and Phil or me and Forright, you still listen.
The people show up.
But honestly, though, sometimes even in the middle of the season, I was fried. I needed a break. And I already had my birthday, and I was going on a ski trip with my boys, my Navy buddies. And Marissa and I actually snuck away for a couple days, so it was nice to get away. And I'm fresh-eyed and ready to go.
Hit the reset button.
Yeah, no, I feel good. Before we get started on the show, though, I do want to say congratulations to Hammond Central Wolves boys basketball team for winning the sectional against Munster, the Munster Mustangs yesterday, 54-53.
It's an amazing game. I went to the game.
Yeah.
Did you?
It was standing room only.
Yeah.
It was.
Did you have good
good
seats or?
Standing room. I was standing, man.
Yeah.
I didn't get, so I got there a little bit late. I got there into the second quarter, and ended up standing with Councilman Tyler. A lot of great Hammond folks there. Big Munster crowd there, and it was just a great game.
Yeah,
really good game. I mean, Hammond Central was down by 9 at half. They battled back. It was back and forth. Munster then was down by 4. They came back. It was tied. Hammond had 2.9 seconds left at the free throw line. One of the Hammond guys hit their second free throw. Munster had the timeout. 2.9 seconds. Full court throwdown. Inbounds pass. Munster had a chance to win it. Just missed a shot. It was a great game.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Good stuff.
Yeah, really good Hoosier basketball. Hoosier hysteria.
I was going to be there, but I had a birthday party for myself. So
wow.
Yeah,
was it well attended?
It was all family.
Nice. Lynn's?
It was nice.
Yep, I was there.
You witnessed
Lynn
it?
showed.
It's always
it's
questionable.
It was controversial.
It's questionable.
I made an appearance.
Yeah.
What do you mean it was controversial?
No, it's just messing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No,
It was nice. All the kids were there, and
thanks for being there, Lynn.
Lindsay's the only one that brought her significant other.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, Brian was there.
Also known as her husband.
We live like 10 minutes away.
My son-in-law. So. Yeah, Eileen, Chase's significant other, is in Japan.
Whoa.
And
Ethan, my oldest is in India.
Wow.
He FaceTimed me yesterday from the Taj Mahal. He said, Dad, I'm going to the Taj Mahal. It's 7 a.m. in the morning.
That's awesome.
12 hours ahead. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Forright's in Vietnam.
He texted him yesterday. He's in Japan right now.
We have such international friends and family.
Yeah, dude, I hope they're listening to Lockpod there. That'd be great for
I told them all to do that. So you need to to download from India, download from Japan. And Forright said he wants to Skype in from Japan or Hanoi on Friday.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
Yes.
Because he'll be half loaded probably.
Well, who knows? Yeah.
Maybe full loaded.
Maybe he'll be on a scooter or something.
Yeah.
Cruising around Hanoi.
Yeah.
So
anyway, I was gone, and
happy belated, by the way.
Thank you. I was while I was gone, I was dismayed at some stuff that was going on back home.
Ooh.
Keep in mind now, I'm out in Utah, where it snows.
Utah.
Like it snowed 2 feet Saturday night, and then I went skiing the next day.
Crazy.
And civilization marched forward. You know what I'm saying?
Little known fact: Tom McDermott Jr. birthplace, Utah.
Yeah, Logan. I was real close to it. Most people assume I grew up in California. And I don't correct them.
You did grow up in California.
No. Most people assume. Yeah, you're right. I was born and raised in California, and I was not born in California. I was born in Utah, which always prompts questions. That's why I never tell them.
Right. What are you doing in Utah? Are
they're
you
just
Mormon?
like, yeah, right, exactly, right. So if they say, oh yeah, you were born and raised in California, I just silently sit there.
They
just
say
let
the
them
same
assume.
thing about me. They think I'm born and raised Hammond.
Yeah.
But I was born in Virginia.
Yeah. Similar type of situation.
See?
Then people are like, why were you born in Virginia? And you're like, well, my dad was
Dad
stationed,
was
blah, blah,
in
blah.
Navy
Right.
base.
Right. Well, it's the same with my dad. My dad was in college at Utah State. And they cranked me out, and my mom moved back to California like right after. So literally, they could have just went over there and had me. It would have worked out a lot easier for me because they didn't anticipate all these people asking.
All the
Probably
Utah
cheaper
questions,
to
right?
give birth in Utah than California, though.
Utah's so gorgeous. So gorgeous.
Yeah.
Amazing. But anyway, going back to the whippification of America.
I didn't know we were there. Wimpification of America, one of your favorite topics.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a continuing topic.
Agreed.
Because the leaders of our country, the elected officials outside of me and others, are determined to do everything they can to wipe the butt of their voters and just to make sure that, like, we do everything for you. Like, we will not let you, like, have
Suffer.
suffer.
You may not suffer.
Right? It's so stupid.
This goes back to, I remember you, this goes back years. And I think the first thing that really got you was when communities were canceling Halloween because of weather.
Oh my God, that's gonna. Piss
I think
off.
that was like
it's gonna piss off my friend at the South Shore.
I think
Convention
that
and
was
Visitors
the
Bureau.
first item.
I was pissed about that.
That really got you. You're like,
remember
something's
that,
happening
Liz?
in America.
You were probably trick or treating, and this is when I first became mayor.
I trick or treat snow.
Well, I know you
rain,
do, of course,
wind.
that's you.
Because guess what?
Lindsay's
Your dad's the
hardcore.
mayor, and
I
he's
still
not
do it.
canceling.
I still
No,
trick or
she'll do
treat.
it in adverse weather. By the
For
way,
sure.
Lindsay,
I remember trick or treating in the snow
When is
baby,
Halloween?
when you were 2 years old,
Halloween.
you dressed as like the Lion King.
Yeah, I know.
And we
it was
lived-
like storming. I
That was
remember
the
that.
night the airplane crashed.
That was the
Halloween
so
night.
that was the day I got admitted into practicing law.
Nice.
Yeah,
That was
'cause
a horrible day.
People on that plane were installed to be lawyers that day in Indianapolis and died on the way
wow.
back to Chicago.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Why'd
Yes.
they fly? It's such an easy drive.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
horrible. But anyway, so Lindsay is, I buy her, and I'm extremely like paycheck to paycheck at this point in my life.
Well, I do
Poor.
recall that it was very cold and wet.
Do you remember that outfit?
I do.
So,
Wow.
I remember falling
2
into a
years old.
puddle, and that is all that's like my earliest memory.
So-
I'm Simba, and I fall into a puddle.
So
Gotta be
this
symbolic
is
of something.
this day, like we're super poor, and I went out and bought Lindsay like $100 Halloween outfit.
Big deal, right?
It was a big deal, and
Oh,
she was
sure.
big in the Lion King, and she was Simba. And she
Who was it though, man?
Right.
Oh, Lion King's great.
So that day, as everybody knows, October 31st, and where we live is
94.
could be
1994.
yeah, it could be like the worst weather of the year because it's not really snowing at that point, so
Sleet.
it's raining and it's just freezing. And it was one of those days. That's the day that the airplane crash happened in Roseland, Indiana. A bunch of people died, unfortunately. That was the day that Lindsay was supposed to trick or treat in her $100 Simba outfit.
Fell in a puddle.
So
No, we went. Dad carried me from
Oh, yeah.
house to house.
I literally carried her from house to
Wow.
house. I'm glad she remembered that. I carried her, and
So
I was
did-
like, "You're trick or treating in this damn
So
$100
you're like,
outfit."
so then like fast forward 20 years, right? Or fast forward,
and
I
now
guess.
Dad makes
10
everybody
years.
suffer because of that experience. He's like,
And you're like-
you're gonna trick or treat today. I don't care if it's blizzard conditions.
But I mean,
but that's
Halloween.
It's Halloween. You can't change Halloween. So the situation is 20 years later or so, it was a predicted to be a really bad weather event on Halloween.
30 years later.
So my buddy, well, I'm not even going to mention
Oh,
it.
not this.
So
Yeah,
there's
all right,
other
gotcha.
mayors that are
Yes.
like, hey, the kids are going to get robbed this year and they're not going to be able to trick or treat because this horrible weather's coming. So we're going to move Halloween a day later
Oh, that's
or a day earlier.
I remember you just
And
going
I'm
up on
like,
the radio show.
Are you shitting me? Like, you can't change Halloween. Halloween is Halloween, right? And I'm like, if it rains, too goddamn bad, right?
Get out there in your
Get out there
Simba
and do it.
outfit and trick or treat.
This is life. Shit happens,
Right.
right? It rains sometimes. It
Sure.
snows sometimes.
Yes, it does.
Freaking deal with it. We live in Chicago, right? I'm not changing the damn day because it's raining. That's
Halloween.
insane. Plus, we have a bunch of workers that are going out there and protect the kids. I
True.
can't just like change everybody.
You're gonna have good Halloween memories of walking in the rain.
This is when I'm still a pretty young mayor. So I dug in. I was like, I am not changing it. And people were like coming at me like I'm an asshole. I'm like, screw you. Halloween is tomorrow. Trick or treat is from 5 to 7. If you miss it, too damn bad. See you next year, right?
You lost out on the candy.
So a lot of people got pissed at me, but I stuck. And then that
Stuck to your
tradition
guns.
continues. Mayors cannot change Halloween from where I live, and I never do. And that goes for Halloween. That goes for Christmas. I can't change Christmas.
No.
New Year's Eve. Oh shit, it's gonna snow. Let's change
It's
New
not
Year's
like
Eve.
that.
to
Yeah,
the
we're gonna move it
2nd,
to
right?
January 2nd.
It's the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. So I like stuck, and now I'm like of
And by
this
the way,
opinion.
it's kind of like with kids, right? Like it's
Yeah,
almost like the
it's a good
kids are like,
lesson.
oh, the kids are gonna melt.
It's a good
Oh,
lesson.
the
Our
yeah.
kids need to understand. Shit happens. You don't always get what you want.
Could you imagine in like, obviously we grew up in the 70s and 80s. Could you imagine somebody saying like, yeah, Halloween's going to be canceled?
No.
It didn't even
No.
it didn't even enter
No.
the thought process.
No. There was just like
We're gonna
nobody-
move Halloween because
if you
it's
would have
gonna
been
rain.
like, wow, it's gonna be cold. We're gonna move Halloween to tomorrow. People would have been like, you freaking crazy? Because we were tough kids, honestly. And I'm not like that. But like, we're raising a whole generation of freaking wimps, dude. We are in a process, and I'm proud to say that my kids are tough and mentally strong. But like, it's time.
Speak for yourself.
It's time. It's like she talks shit all the time. See, that's a
See, where does that
that's
come
like
from?
being
That
strong.
comes from falling in a puddle at 2 years old as
That's
Simba.
right. Yeah, that's right.
These things get in.
We could have waited
early.
another day, but I'm like,
Yeah.
get your ass out there, Lindsay. Simba, right? Right? It's freaking Halloween.
Oh, no,
It started
Halloween
early.
is sacred in my heart. I'll
That's
do
right.
that no
But you
matter
were
what.
too.
But
You
it's
didn't
because
know-
of your dad and
You
how
didn't know
raised
anybody.
you.
That's right. Thank you, Kevin.
Exactly.
So anyway, getting back to another example of the
Yes.
wimpification of America. So I'm out in Utah where it snows. It's literally snowing while I'm out there, like the entire trip. I got there Thursday night. I left Monday morning. It was snowing when I got there. It was snowing when I left. The whole time. And They didn't shut down civilization out there because they expect it, because we're in Utah. It's going to snow here, right? So I'm monitoring the weather in Chicago because I have a new public works supervisor, Felix.
It's awesome.
And Rhonda, and quite frankly, new leadership in the whole department. And this prediction is the massive storm.
And I would say that when there's a snow storm or any type of accumulation, that's when public works becomes that's their like they are front and center. Everybody's either criticizing or thanking them.
Mostly
undue criticism, sure,
right?
But
it's so. And by the way, for those, I know you guys are aware of this, the listeners of the show, but sometimes we have guests listening. We live in Chicago. It snows here. This is normal weather in the winter. It's going to snow. It's going to be cold. It's going to be blowing.
Windy, icy.
Shit happens, right? This is how it is. It's February/March in Chicago. This is what you deal with, right? So now this humongous Stormageddon's coming, and it's supposed to hit us on Friday. And I'm monitoring. I'm out in Utah like, great, I'm going to get tore up. While I'm on vacation, Hammond's going to get
Mayor's
slammed.
not there.
Right. It's going to get slammed. But I'm monitoring. I'm making sure Felix is cool. I'm talking to Phil. I'm talking to everybody. Okay? So, like, now all the schools are shutting down on Thursday. All the schools are shutting down. Everybody's like, a flake hasn't even hit the ground yet. Everybody's shutting down civilization for Friday.
I got an automatic call on Thursday afternoon that school is going to be out for Charlie at 11:30 a.m.
Now I sort of get like middle school, elementary school, high school. I sort of sympathize because think about the kids at bus.
Sure.
And think about even in high school, kids that drive themselves. You don't want. And by the way, having all that extra traffic on the street is a pain in our ass.
Also
Public
true.
Works. Because schools are generators of traffic, school buses, all the parents, all the kids walking, riding. So I could sort of understand why you would shut down high school, elementary school, middle school. I sort of understand that, okay? But the one that really got my goat was this one. My alma mater, Purdue Northwest.
Hey, that's my current school.
Shuts down on Thursday for Friday. Shuts down civilization. Like, hey, big storm tomorrow, we're shutting down. Not a damn flake has hit in the ground yet. And they shut down a university.
Yeah.
This is a college. Like, Lindsay's paying money to go to nursing school there, and they're just like, we're taking tomorrow off.
They had to
professors
cancel
drive in and people
Hold on.
drive in from all over. Sorry, Linz.
No, they had to cancel my last pediatric clinical because of it. And I was sitting at home, and there was not a single flake of snow on the ground, and I was just sitting there like,
I don't know how much that cost Lindsay. Like, honestly, she paid money for that.
Sure.
And instead, she's sitting at home watching TV, and I'm sure. It
was nice.
Of course, but like, you're not supposed to be. You're supposed to be learning.
You're supposed to be Simba in the puddle, Linz.
I know.
So Purdue cancels classes. The result of the storm, of course, is literally less than 2 inches of storm.
And it was real slushy.
A lot of rain. It was gone like within a day.
Yeah, a day and a half. Yeah.
I mean, so basically, we're sending a message to every student of Purdue who men and women, adults, like if it snows 1 inch, we're going to cancel all of our classes. And we live in Chicago. Like, I understand if we're in LA and it snows 1 inch, I get it because you're in LA and you're not used to it. We live in freaking Chicago. And they shut down Purdue Northwest for a day for nothing.
Yeah,
it's so stupid. Like, what is the matter with you guys? It's a college.
I kind of had a little bit of trouble even with the high school shutting down. I mean, I really did. I was like, what? I mean, the kids that drive. I was on the road that day. I had to go to court, and we're going to get in. I want to get into that too because the court was open, thank goodness. But the weather at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, it was drivable. It really was. I mean, it didn't really start snowing hard 4 or 5
till Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, you could have got through school, I think.
Dude,
but
it's
whatever.
So stupid. It's like everybody gets into this mode where like, oh my God, it's going to be inconvenient tomorrow to drive.
I had a big hearing set that day.
This is life.
And it was, and kudos to our Lake Circuit Court judge who happens to be married to the locomotive.
Marissa,
she kept the courts open.
Yeah. The Lake Circuit Court judge and the county commissioner, Mike Ripe, team up together.
Kudos to both.
Mike, Commissioner Ripe, represents the workers, the government center in Crown Point. Marissa represents the courts, being the circuit court judge, and both of them made the decision to keep government open, just like Hammond stayed open and most city governments stayed open.
But, yeah, I mean, it wasn't like a snowmageddon. It was a 2-inch slush storm.
And if it is Stormageddon, then shut down. Wait for the freaking snow to start.
Sure.
You're shutting down civilization, and you look like fools.
At the office, I can just give you my example. And at our small law firm, we sent everybody home an hour early.
Right.
You know,
because
we monitored it during the day, and then
because it did get kind of messy.
Yeah, and I didn't
And
want
you didn't
people
know.
hitting
You
the
didn't
road.
know.
Driving around, like if I was coming back from Chicago when the snow actually did hit, that would have sucked because the roads were trash.
John, did you have any trouble?
No.
Yeah.
John, have you ever seen me shut down City Hall because of snow? John works.
No. Maybe go home early, but not shut down.
Well, I sent everybody home one day on 219 day early.
That's true. That
It's
was a holiday.
219.
that's
that
right.
was great.
Yeah.
That was
I'll be
was
honest with you.
Yeah, that was a big
That
one.
was
I'm of the
warranted.
opinion that, when I took over as mayor, the first snow day, this is 20 years ago. It doesn't happen anymore. But the first anticipated snow day, all my employees come up to me and they're like, Mayor Tom, it's going to snow. Are you going to send us home? Are we off tomorrow? Yeah. And I'm like, guys, this is like a totally different approach as mayor, I guess, because this is when we're supposed to work. When it's shitty conditions in the city, isn't that our job? To run the freaking city, to make sure that everything's working correctly? Like, if we go home, who's doing that? Nobody.
Mm-hmm.
So I started off early as mayor, and I said, I'm never going to shut this place down, guys. This is where we work, and we're in charge of this city. And every time it snows, we're going to be going to work and setting the example. And I think that our school leaders, I think our university leaders, I think that the regional leaders that shut down because it was supposed to storm tomorrow, they're sending a horrible signal to our whole population that we're a bunch of wimps out here, and we can't handle 2 inches of snow.
Do you think maybe there's a thought that, hey, it's easier to be safe and close down because now we can e-learn? Like there's this alternative, right? Like
why don't we
when
just
were
e-learn
kids,
all the time? We could just eliminate all these school buildings, just like, and
Eliminate
we'll just
the
go home and learn.
referendums.
It's such bullshit, dude.
I'm just thinking
E-learning
maybe
is
that's
not-
an easy. It's easier to say shut down because we're just gonna have an e-learning day tomorrow.
But e-learning is bullshit because even though okay, if Patrick e-learns at my house with great Wi-Fi and and if he gets stuck, I'm right there. Marissa's right there. If Patrick, but not everybody has a situation like Patrick, right? There's a lot of kids that parents are struggling and they're struggling and they don't have good role models or mentors or tutors around. They need to be in school.
It's a good point.
I mean, if not, why are we building all these expensive schools? Let's just annihilate all the school buildings and we'll go back and e-learn because it's a lot cheaper for Wi-Fi than it is for a school.
And there's still a lot of people in America, like you pointed out, and I didn't think about this. You think about your own backyard, you don't have problems with internet, but there are people that didn't pay the internet bill.
That's right.
Well,
that don't have the ability to have it every month.
And I had students, when we had e-learning when I was a teacher at Hast, who would come in during those e-learning days because they didn't have internet, they didn't have power at home, they didn't have food, and we were their source of a meal. So
anyway,
good point, Linz.
we are raising a bunch of wimps, and I'm not going to be part of that. I am not going to be part of that.
That's
when 20 years from now, when America is just a bunch of little people that get hurt all the time. Oh my God, what did you say? I mean, that's where we're heading, guys. We're raising a generation of little wimps that are like, everything you say, oh, words hurt. No, words don't hurt. It hurts when you get punched in the face. That's what it hurts. Unless it's like racism.
Right, exactly. That's what I was going to say. So
I'm so
I got a
I'm
question
so mad.
for you, though.
You're trying to get me off subject.
Well, no, it's about the subject.
Okay.
It's but it's a snow subject. So you said when you were out west that it got dumped on.
Let's go.
Feet of snow. Hold on. One last question about the snow. Did you hear any conversation about this is going to help get rid of the drought? Is anybody saying that?
No, not really.
I'm curious about that.
No. I mean, everybody's really happy. I tell you one thing though, flying into Salt Lake City, Salt Lake is empty.
Really?
I've been flying into Salt Lake for a lot of my life. I know what Salt Lake looks like, and when you fly in, it's noticeably dry.
Huh.
And the scary thing about Salt Lake, this is what they're talking about, is if Salt Lake does dry up, which is totally possible, although the snowpack is going to help this year.
Yeah.
But if the Great Salt Lake does dry up, the salt water has covered minerals that when get blown up, and the wind out there is brutal, it's toxic. And it's literally going to poison the valley. They're super worried about that. As the lake recedes and all these lake beds that have been sitting there for millennia, now all of a sudden all that dust that's in there and all these minerals are going to get blown all over and people are going to inhale it. It's really bad situation.
Yeah, I was curious on whether the snowpack is going to help California and help the West with their.
It is definitely. It is definitely. In fact, I think California has been taken out of drought status. The entire state. Yeah,
just takes 40 feet of snow.
The base at Utah, the base is over 100 inches. They had 300 inches of snow this year. Wow. 300. How many feet is that?
I don't know. Divide by 12 quickly. 144, 12. Ooh, at least. Well, 288 would be 24 feet.
25 feet.
There you go.
25 feet of snow. Literally. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. So, all right.
Do some ads.
You guys, no. You guys wanted to talk about. You went to a new
we
venue?
get to keep going. Oh yeah, John, bring this in.
Kevin, thanks for the invite to the. Is it L or Ellie?
L King.
L King.
Hey, that was a good. Yeah,
it was a great show. New venue for both Kevin and I, right?
Yeah, I'd never been there. Brand new venue.
Salt Shed.
Yes, Salt
That's
Shed.
right. The Salt Shed.
Yeah, so if you've traveled in Chicago and you've gone along Kennedy Avenue, you've probably seen the old Morton Salt Factory, or I don't know, not factory, Morton Salt Distribution Center storage facility. They've turned it into a music venue.
Look
Look at that. That's the inside of it.
That's awesome.
Very unique.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's angled like that because you're actually in where they used to store the salt.
Mm-hmm.
That's
and it's
crazy.
it's really cool. About 3,500 inside.
Can you lick the walls and taste the salt?
Probably.
No, but there were something that was amazing that I had not seen anywhere in a public facility in years, and that was new drinking fountains.
What?
Yeah, like you didn't have to go buy like an $8 water. You could just go put your mouth on and drink water.
Like,
I was like,
Wrigley Field.
yeah, like a normal person.
It was
Let's have a
110
drinking
degrees
fountain.
on the field one day, and the only way you can get water at Wrigley Field during a concert, it was the Dead concert, was to buy $8 water. It was crazy.
Wow.
If you didn't have $8, you weren't drinking, and you were just going to roast.
I
away
think they took drinking fountains away so they could make money.
Yeah.
And now I was so happy
It's
to
for
see a drinking
safety
fountain at
reasons,
this
they
place.
say nowadays.
Well, you know what? It's not
Wimpification
safe.
of America.
It's not. It is the wimpification.
There you go.
of America.
We
But
can't
it's
have
not
drinking
safe.
fountains.
It's not safe for the oceans because all those little plastic bottles. Every time you
Absolutely.
drink one bottle of water, you
Throw it out.
create waste.
Yep.
And that adds up. Yeah.
So Kevin, I was thinking like after the show. So we had the water fountains in the restrooms. There were it was like instant hot water heater when you're washing your hands, and these Dyson hand dryers. I left kind of thinking is the concert going experience should it be that clean and sterile and prim and
Nice.
proper?
I'm going to this place.
I miss the
I've been
sweaty, gritty concerts.
Yeah.
they
back in
still
the day.
exist. You
Yeah.
can still do that.
You got to go find them, but that's
There's
not
a couple hole-in-the-wall places in Chicago.
Yeah, man.
Metro,
Metro,
empty
yeah.
bottle.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's some good spots. So
I do like the Metro. I went there recently.
love
It's
it.
fun.
The Aragon.
They only
Yes,
take
Aragon,
pretty- that's
the
pretty nasty.
Riviera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
The
brawl room.
Aragon is nasty.
The brawl room, yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
I like it.
All right, let's do some ads, and we're coming back. I'm going to talk a little bit about my last week and a tweet that I hit the ground yesterday, and Ron Klain.
And then hit the roof.
Ron Klain, to give you a preview of what we're going to talk about, to watch our the number of listeners and watchers that go up. Ron Klain is the former chief of staff of President Biden in the White House. So he's a big shot. He's a Hoosier, a Democrat, and he's looking for good candidates to run for U.S. Senate for once. Which
In
pissed
Indiana.
me. In Indiana.
All right,
Indiana.
We're going to come back and talk
So
all
I hit
about
the
it.
ground yesterday, and if you're interested in watching me hit the roof,
Hit
this
the ground
is
and
what
hit
happened
the roof.
yesterday. But first, we're going to pay some bills. So we'll start off with Chris Jones at Properties. Are you looking to buy a dream home? If so, call Chris Jones with the at Properties. He can help. All across Northwest Indiana, it's a great time to buy with properties available at all price ranges. And if you're considering a sale, Chris Jones will get your house sold for top dollar. He sold some of the most expensive homes in Hammond and Munster last year. Contact Chris Jones at atproperties.com for a market analysis. That's Chris Jones at atproperties.com. Or to discuss the home qualities you're looking for. That's Chris Jones at atproperties.com.
Powering America. Are you looking for a new career in 2023? If you are a person who enjoys working with your hands in a challenging and ever-changing environment, an electrical apprenticeship might be for you. Earn a competitive wage while you gain valuable experience. Did we mention employer-paid benefits including health insurance, pension, and an annuity? If so, visit apply697.com. That is APPLY697.com. POW! Sponsored by Powering America.
Rogers Roofing. When you want the best for your home and family, trust the best in the business. Rogers Roofing. Rogers Roofing has transformed homes in Northwest Indiana and Chicagoland for more than 54 years, providing quality roofing, siding, gutters, and windows, all backed by the best warranties in the industry. To learn more and to schedule your free consultation, visit rogersroofing.com or call 219-933-9145 today. That's Rogers, R-O-G-E-R-S, roofing.com, 219-933-9145. And remember, at Rogers Roofing, excellence is expected every time.
Misprint Printing. Misprint specializes in delivering the highest quality signs and printing on time and under budget. Misprint's experience in technology allows them to offer custom commercial on-demand printing, sign solutions, and damn Skippy,
I heard you got some new ones.
metal business cards. Yes, I did for my birthday.
Mental business
Thank you, Rick.
cards.
Metal business cards with my normal mayor logo, not the McDermott for
With
Senate
the boxing
logo.
glove.
Yeah. So thank
Very
you, Rick.
cool.
Appreciate it. It was a very nice Christmas birthday present from him. Appreciate it very much. Rick Baltonsberger and his team have served Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana markets for over 30 years. They have 2 convenient locations to serve you in Munster and in Hammond.
Byway Brewing is a family-friendly microbrewery with a spacious tap room and outside patio. Our brewing equipment offers a unique backdrop for your private events like weddings, reunions, or corporate parties. We are conveniently located just off 8094 at the Kennedy Avenue South exit. Come on by and enjoy Byway's award-winning beers and unbeatable menu. For more information, check out bywaybrewing.beer.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for supporting our sponsors, everybody. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be on the air, and you'd probably be listening to some other crappy,
Yeah.
station
where
or
are
show.
you going?
Some other crappy station, show, whatever. So.
Steve wouldn't be like taking trips to Cancun on
That's
Lock
right.
Pod.
That's right. Hey, the swag looks nice, by the way.
Yeah, we're gonna continue to revise,
I
improve,
agree.
whatever.
I think we're all on the same page on
Yeah.
that. Hey,
Good first effort, Steve.
I've been gone for a week, as everybody knows. I was just going to sort of summarize what I did. It was nice, a nice week away.
We've heard you were in Utah.
Well, I was hanging with my Navy buddies, but I started off because for those of you that aren't skiers, Utah is the mecca. It's I think Utah, Colorado, California. If you're going to go ski, like I ski Midwest to get in shape so that when I go out west, I could thrash.
Yeah, Montana, Idaho, Washington, all those.
I did 50,000 feet last week, 50,000 vertical feet last week, and I did 70 miles. That's how far I skied last week.
70
10 miles a day.
Hell?
Yes. Yep. So when I was gone, so Monday and Tuesday, Marissa and I shot over. We went literally Sunday night, and we were back Tuesday night. But we got 2 days of skiing in Boyne. This was my final 2 warm-up days. I did 25,000 feet in those 2 days.
That's hard to do.
That's like
in
40
Boyne,
miles.
by the way.
That's like 30 miles.
Boyne, like you're only going like whoop whoop.
There was nobody there that day.
You just kept going.
I skied to the chair. Literally stop. Get picked up by the chair, go back
That'll
to the
help.
top. Yeah, I got a lot of skiing in. And Marissa, I did have a seriously bad wipeout, though, in Boyne. See, in Boyne,
going too fast.
I was going really fast. And I was by myself because I went to Boyne Highlands. And Marissa, because I'm ADD
You're not getting
boy.
any younger.
I know. But I'm like ADD boy.
This is true.
I'm like, I'm not skiing Boyne 2 days in a row. I'm going to go to Highlands. Marissa wanted to ski Boyne twice. So
What's the travel to Highlands between Boyne and Highlands?
40 minutes,
Okay.
35 minutes. Not
That's
bad.
doable.
It's a nice drive, too.
Sure.
You go through Petoskey and all that. So I get to Boyne Highlands, and I'm just skiing and just living my best life, listening to music. I'm just by myself. So, like, I'm doing whatever I want. I got lots of skiing.
What do you have in your ears? Just AirPods, or do you have like
yeah,
those
AirPods.
ones that
AirPods
fit
in my
your-
helmet. AirPods in my
your
helmet.
Okay.
So like, and I could control it from my watch, which is great. But I was doing business. People were talking to me about work stuff, and I'm sitting.
Oh,
on
you and I
lifts.
talked.
Yeah, I'm talking. I was actually skiing and talking to you. Like I'm like, yeah, I'm going down
I'm glad
the hill
it wasn't
right
the
now.
wipeout. I'm glad I didn't hear
it
like.
wasn't dude.
And then just
Yeah.
nothing.
Well, when I wiped out,
Tom?
my AirPods both popped out. That was how bad of a wreck it was.
Damn.
It was.
Did
it
you
was a
lose
yard
Hard
them?
to
sale.
find.
I found everything. It was icy. It was so everything was on top. It wasn't powder. It didn't like go into
Like they
the
like
snow.
fell. They were like your
I
AirPods
hit-
were
Kevin.
on the snow.
I hit so hard. I had whiplash.
What?
I had whiplash
Whoa.
for 2 days after that.
That can happen. I could see your
Wow.
neck bouncing around.
It was the front. I continued skiing out there.
Holy
but like it was weird.
mackerel.
I had it so bad it was on the front of my neck, like where you swallow. The 2 muscles around it.
Oh, man.
It hurt so bad. So I don't know what happened to me,
Take
but
it easy, man.
but I was skiing honestly, and it was tough conditions, and I was going fast. Like I probably was doing close to 40. I don't think I was doing over 40, but I could have been. It was right around there, which is really fast.
you
okay?
feel it. That's when you start. I think at 40 you start thinking, I'm going pretty good.
Well, it was scary
pretty
because
good.
like all of a sudden I was having trouble seeing the snow because it was like really windy that day and it snowed a little bit. So the snow was loose and the wind was like sort of making a cloud. You know what I'm saying? Like a little cloud on top of the snow.
Yeah, so go faster.
But like, well, no, it wasn't like that all day. But at that point in time, I was already on a steep hill going pretty fast. And I was like, I'm having trouble seeing the snow, but Boyne's usually flat. So I'm just hauling and I'm like, okay. And then I don't know, maybe my head got, because I was literally like, damn, it's sort of tough to see.
Whipping up a little bit.
So I don't know, maybe because when you don't,
I agree with you.
If you're not confident,
I agree with you.
I think I got a little not confident and I was like, man, it's a little, and I'm going fast. And all of a sudden it was just an explosion.
Yeah. That's the
then-
thing about ski crashes. They happen
It was
instantaneous.
so fast.
Yeah.
I was on the ground, like going head first, and then all of a sudden my skis, which were behind me, flipped over my head.
Oh,
and that's
boy.
the scary
One of
part.
those.
I'd rather go face first because
Agreed.
you're not going to mess up your legs. But when your legs go downhill, that's when you're in trouble for like, hurting a knee, hurting whatever. And I was like, stop, and I just kept sliding. I I lost
AirPods.
I lost one of my poles. My AirPods are laying on the.
I like the sound effects. Though.
So like I get there and I'm like, oh my God,
It's a yard sale.
I'm alive.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I look up and it's like 100 yards away where I dropped all my shit.
See, that's one of the things skiing alone. Like usually, your buddy sees you go down,
exactly,
stops behind you, grabs your pole for you.
I had nobody, and my shit's like all over the mountain, right? And I'm like, I have a choice now: walk of shame, like back up. Everybody already seen me crash.
Right.
Everybody's now. Am I gonna walk
clapping.
up the hill and get all my shit?
Yeah.
And like walk of shame.
What do you have to do? You have to have a choice.
No, I went down. I'm like one pole, my AirPods, and I'm like, I'm not going up and getting it.
You
It's
left
too
your
embarrassing.
AirPods?
Yeah, I left them. And I skied down to the lift with one pole.
Rich people problems.
And
Yes.
no. The lift took me all the way back up, and then I skied down and I got all my stuff.
And
with
you
one
found
pole.
the AirPods.
I found everything. It was like yard sale. It was totally dead out there.
Like, here's my.
They're all like down the hill. Yeah. So I went and got everything, and then I was literally whiplashed for 2 days after that. But I still skied.
And then Utah.
Went to Utah. I stayed with my buddies from the Navy. We had
I know
a
you
condo
guys
in
try
Park
to get
City.
together at least once a year.
We usually do. We did it twice, and maybe 3 times. They're coming to the fest this year. I invited everybody, and they're coming out. We're getting.
And they
ready.
came to Indy in November.
Oh
on
yeah, they were all
election
in
day.
India in
Yeah,
November.
that's right.
But yeah, these guys. I don't know if you got the picture up. That's Marty
That's a
on the
great
left.
photo.
Marty is one of my great. All of them are my great friends. But Marty's from Austin, Texas. Marty and I see each other usually at least once or twice a year. Steve Buckroeder, the guy next to him, is from Sacramento, California. He works in the nuclear industry, and now he works for a utility in California. But that doesn't surprise
So you
me.
stuck with it.
Oh yeah,
Stuck with
he's big time, big pay, big time operator, like in charge of the grid in California. Like
and are these all
Sacramento
enlisted
area.
guys, by the way?
Yeah, these are all
enlisted
these
guys.
are all
Kind
my
of doing the
guys.
same thing you were doing.
All my guys.
Wow.
Tim Nurry's in the middle. He works in construction business for a firm that's owned by another friend of mine. He lives in Houston, Texas. Guy next to him is Trey.
I mean, Trey's still like representing. Check out his
He
shirt,
had his
man.
Rick
He's got
Over
his
shirt on. Yeah.
got his Rick Over T-shirt.
Yeah, Trey's from Washington, D.C. He's a business owner. He owns a construction business. And then a guy on my left is Greg Poulos. Lindsay knows Greg really well. Yep. Greg and Marty were both around a lot when Lindsay was a little baby, a lot. Greg's a big time. He's a president of a fertility company, doing really well. And then next to him is Jason, who's from Salt Lake City. Jason's also doing really well. He's got a big job with the corporation.
So he did get to go vacation. He was where he lives.
Ooh, Jason, yeah.
Yeah. He's like,
Jason,
everyone's getting out of
was
town.
he like helping
Right.
coordinate
No,
everything?
he wants us to come there, Linz, because he's the best skier I've ever skied with.
Wow.
He's
he looks in shape, man.
Dude.
Everybody looks in shape, actually.
Jason is unbelievable skier. I've never skied with anybody as good as him.
That's
I was
great.
trying to keep up with him. And by the way, holy crap, by like Saturday and Sunday I was dead. My legs were cashed.
Yeah, I mean, when I go skiing that hard, it's just like my quads are burning and your legs are done and you're done. So
It snowed 2 feet on Saturday night.
no
2 feet.
kidding.
By the way,
And powder's harder.
they didn't shut down City Hall. They didn't shut down shit. They snowed 2 feet. 2 feet. God, we'd be out of school for 3 weeks here if it snowed 2 feet. We wouldn't want it. We want the kids to be, there's a snowflake here. Can't come out.
You learning.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm super like relaxed and happy, and I had to get up at 4:30 yesterday to fly home, but I flew home, and by the way, I got a half a day of work in because I'm a good mayor. And then as soon as I hit the ground, Smitty, who I love, picks me up from the airport.
Nice of him.
And then Zach texts Kevin and me with a tweet that Ron Klain, President Biden's former chief of staff, drops. And he says, "Come on, Indiana Democrats, this is Ron Klain. Let's find some great candidates to run for U.S. Senate."
Oh, but when I saw that, I was like,
Dude,
oh, boy.
I
was like waiting to hear the
Dude,
Nah.
I'm like, fuck you, Ron Klain.
Yeah, it was bad.
Right? What a
And
dick.
it's bad. It's just tone deaf, man.
He's
it's
a
like
freaking idiot.
there are a lot of people that are in Indiana every day that are Democrats that are working their tails off.
Dude, we're trying so hard here. And Ron Klain, I hope you're listening. Ron Klain,
Me too.
you were sitting
Probably isn't.
at the president's desk, and you're a Hoosier, and you're a Democrat. And we have a whole slate of Democrats that bust their ass every year trying to bust into the supermajority, trying to like win statewide. People like myself, Ron, Democrats my whole career, freaking working hard for the party. And I went out there and I took a flyer because you know what, Ron? Your bosses asked me to. Ron Klain, your bosses, the big shots, wanted Tom McDermott to run for U.S. Senate in Indiana. And I said yes. And I busted my ass. I raised $1.6 million, drove 75,000 miles, worked my ass off for 18 months. And Ron Klain, you freaking ignored us. You ignored me and you ignored all Hoosier Democrats, and you're sitting at the president's desk. You asshole. So you come in now and you say, let's find some great candidates to run for U.S. Senate. Am I supposed to trust you, Ron? You asshole.
Not a peep
You
out of him
freaking
last
screwed
year.
me.
Not
You
a
guys screwed me and all Democrats in Indiana when we ran. Now you want to find great candidates? Freaking screw you, Ron Klain.
You had
I
great
think,
candidates.
one of the things that's so upsetting about that tweet to me is just that, you kind of think to yourself, we're happy that, somebody from Indiana gets a position like that. That should mean like we have, the Indiana Democrats have a contact right there in the White House. And yet we didn't hear one peep from the guy during the campaign.
Our problem, Indiana Democrats' problem, is when we get our Indiana Democrats in positions of power, they give us the middle finger. They take off and they don't come back. I'm going to let you ponder who I'm talking about, okay? Because there's plenty of people that got big-time jobs in D.C., and as soon as they leave the Indiana Democratic Party, they forget all about us. And we're what got you there. Ron Klain, the Indiana Democrats are what got you to the president's desk. And then you get to the president's desk, and you ignore people like myself running for national office.
It's like anything. Like
I'm a veteran too, Kev. I'm a veteran. Mm-hmm. I'm a 20-year mayor. I was a good candidate, and you had a good candidate, Ron Klain, and you freaking screwed me. So why are we supposed to trust this guy?
Well, it's just like you said, Mayor. When people turn their back on like their home state, their hometown, I think that's always indicative of kind of like, okay, I'm just in this. Am I just in this for myself? Well, you see it with like professional athletes. Some of them, they do a lot for their hometowns. They come back. Yeah. They hold clinics. They give money. They do a bunch of stuff. LeBron James started an academy in his hometown. And yet at the same time, you have some people who are just like, I'm out. See ya.
So is this your reply, Tom?
Yeah.
Right here.
Want to read it?
This is great.
Right,
is that sarcastic?
It was very sarcastic.
That's all Dad speaks.
I am
picture
very
Tom.
good at sarcasm.
So my mindset in this is I picture Tom having a great week, getting off the plane, thinking like, oh man, I'm happy to be home. Here I come. He's got a smile on his face. They land. His phone lights up, and he's like, goes off.
Dude, I was pissed the whole ride home. I feel bad because Smitty is like goes out of his way to pick me up. He's such a freaking lovely guy. He picks me up. I'm like, thanks, Jeff. I get into a car. Zach texts me, and I'm furious the rest of the ride. Right? And Smitty does. I don't even know if I told Smitty. I was just like fuming next to him. Right? And it's like
I could tell you were fuming just from the text, and then this came up. I thought that it was an appropriate tweet.
I was going to say worse. Quite frankly, Ron, you're a jag-off for posting this. Neither you or the National Democrats lifted a finger to help any Hoosier Democrat win in this last election cycle. Now you post this. Get lost, Ron.
That was the second one. What was the first one, John? Did he already read that one?
Yeah, you read that one last time.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe we can find another Hoosier Dem willing to work hard for 18 months to raise $1.6 million in small donations, only to get ignored by you as White House Chief of Staff, the President, the National Democrats, and the DSCC. Why don't you give it a shot, big guy?
I like that last thing.
I hope
last question. That
he is a big guy, by the way. He is a big guy. But I hope he does run. And if he runs, I will be tormenting his ass every city and town he hits. I will tear his ass up because we gave him an opportunity of a lifetime to go work for the President of the United States. And as soon as he got that job, he said, screw you, Indiana Democrats. Now he wants to come back and run for Senate. Knock yourself out, Ron Klain. Run for U.S. Senate. That would be a blast because he thinks he's going to walk to an easy primary. That would motivate me to run right there.
Wow.
I'm telling you, man. I'm pissed. A guy like that preaching to us. Screw you, man.
You heard
a
it
guy
here
like
first.
that. He's preaching to us. Go find a good, like, we're not doing anything.
Didn't even come home that we know of. And if he did, he didn't reach out.
Like, oh,
During
come
the
on,
race.
Indiana Democrats. Screw you, Ron Klain. What have you done
people
for
to run
us?
for U.S. Senate.
Hey,
Let's
Rick,
get some
what's up?
people. One of our sponsors just arrived.
What the heck? Hey, why don't we crank out some ads and then we'll put
Get Rick here.
Yeah, and then we're coming back, by the way.
Oh, Smitty just texted me and he said he didn't have to tell me he was pissed. After 20 years, I could tell.
You know.
What's up, brother? Thank you, man.
So these are
nice.
We were just talking about these.
I love it. Rounded edges. The what? Yeah.
I remember I said it actually did cut through his pants.
It cut through because I put it on my It's all right. It's all right. Grab the microphone. Hey, Rick. Thank you very much.
It's like a ninja star with the round edges.
It was literally like a ninja star. This is my new metal business cards. I'm going to be
look at those,
showering them across the region. Thank you very much, Rick.
My pleasure.
But he gave me one before he hit the road, and Rick didn't do that one. I could tell because Kevin gave it to me. I'm like, wow, sharp edges. I'm like, it's metal, dude. This is like. So I'm like, whatever, it's cool. And I put it in my pocket, and like I bent over, and it was like. like right into my leg. I was like, damn.
We might have a personal injury claim.
Really?
Hey,
I am in a law office
Well, it's
right
a good
now.
thing I checked on you yesterday.
Yeah, right.
I was gone for a little while. So
Rick
I
had me
checked.
sign something before I got it.
A release?
It was a release. Yeah, I didn't realize that. I just sign anything you put in front of me.
Well, I had those in the car, and I heard all this snowboarding stuff. So
Oh.
had to come by for that.
Have you been out snowboarding lately?
I leave Sunday.
So Rick's a Tahoe guy.
Yeah, Rick's a Tahoe guy.
Tahoe's
Yeah.
so beautiful.
It's easy
though.
to be a Tahoe guy when you have a residence.
I'm seeing all these TikTok
miles away.
I'm seeing all these TikTok videos of like walls of snow to get into people's driveway and stuff like that.
My dad is literally buried for days on end out there.
No
how does
kidding.
how does he get out of his driveway? Does he have somebody come and do it? Obviously,
He has a
right?
bobcat, and right now he has
That's a good
about
thing to have.
5-6 feet outside his living room window.
When
literally 5-6 feet of
Yeah.
snow.
When I drove into Tahoe one time in a real bad snow, there was because the plows over there are different than ours. They shoot it up like a snowblower, and they go down the street and they just shoot it up and they make these walls. And you drive by these
It's like
walls.
a luge run.
Yeah, it's like a luge. You're on the
No
luge.
kidding.
The walls next to you just go straight up for like 15 feet. It's
yeah.
so crazy. You're driving in between snow walls.
Is there any difference in weather between the California and Nevada side, or does it both get it?
Nevada's like the desert on
The
their
same
side.
side.
Right. Once
You're
you
in the
get
Sierras.
a couple miles into
Literally,
Nevada,
you could see
all
the desert
storms
floor.
just subside.
You see the desert floor from Heavenly.
Oh yeah,
When you're
No
skiing,
way.
you could
yeah.
you're up in mountains and you could see all the way down to the desert floor.
Washoe Valley.
Yeah, it's crazy. My dad. It's the cool thing about Tahoe is you could ski and golf in the same trip. Mm-hmm. You could ski and then you could drive down the mountains to the Nevada side and golf. Great golf courses. And you see a lot of people from California moving to the Nevada side because there's no income taxes there. So like, there's no property taxes.
Lots of casinos.
Yeah,
Make sure you don't get whiplash like the mayor did.
Yeah, I
when you're on
heard.
that.
man, it would have been
It
great.
happens. You just catch an edge,
Did
and
you?
next thing you know, you're.
You ever get whiplash doing that?
Oh, I've had concussions.
Did you have like the front whiplash? I thought whiplash was always in back. I had
That's what I always thought
I
too.
had it
I've
around my
never had
Adam's
it in the
apple. It was
front.
crazy. I don't know
It
what
just
that was.
depends on which way your head goes.
Yeah.
It's
Maybe
still
your
neck
pole
injury.
hit you.
Well,
the
I
neck.
fell forward because I was head first going down, and then my
You
legs
might have
flipped over.
You might have tensed up to like protect
Probably.
your
Oh,
head,
yeah,
and that's
probably.
what.
Unless
was
you've had
the
a couple
pain.
cocktails.
No, I never.
You know
I
what?
never. I don't really do that very often.
I know Rick snowboards. You ski. Weren't you telling me about something in Utah?
Yeah, Deer Valley.
Oh, I love that place, but no snowboarders allowed.
I know. So you can ski
that was
too,
the
right?
craziest thing I'd not heard that.
Yeah,
It's one
there's
of
a
the
few
last places.
There's a
anywhere.
couple out there.
Is there?
Jason was telling me there's a couple in the Utah area. It's all skis. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And they're discriminated.
You're not welcome there, Rick.
No,
No.
no.
You want to hear something cool
And
too?
they've held on to it. I mean, it's
Yeah, they
Deer
got
Valley
sued.
is a country club, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's super nice.
Top echelon ski resort.
Dude. So like, check this out. So my buddy Greg, he's the president of a company, so he's got a lot of money. Okay, so we ski to the St. Regis, and it's up on the mountain. And
Oh, that's that fancy newer.
it has a gondola that
Yeah.
goes right to the
Regis.
hotel.
Just
I
the
drove
fact that they have
past it a
St.
couple
Regis
years.
Right.
tells me it's
Oh,
pretty
it's
high end.
This is big bucks.
So they have an outdoor club, and Greg is bougie. I'll use the millennium word, right? He's bougie.
sure he is.
Greg's got all the new stuff. He's rich, right? So like, he's got all the new,
can afford to
nicest
be
card
bougie.
and all the nicest clothes, the nicest ski outfit. So Greg's like, hey, we're gonna go to St. Regis. I'm gonna get us a bottle of champagne. And I'm like, sounds good. I like champagne, right?
Man.
And we're done skiing. This is Sunday. We're literally done,
That's an
right?
experience at that place.
So we go to St. Regis. This thing was in the New York Times 2 weeks ago. It's an outdoor club in a tent, and it's like beautiful, like LA people, beautiful. It was like I was in Hollywood, and we're sitting there. We killed 3 bottles of champagne.
Wow.
I don't even know what the bill was. I wasn't paying. It was Greg, right? And then like they had warned us that the gondola was shutting down, but we're like, I don't care. We're skiing down to the parking lot. We could see where we had to go, right? What we didn't realize was once the gondola shut down, if we were going to ski down where we were, it would take us to the other side of town. Like we would have had to.
Oh,
we
you on
would
the
have had
wrong
to Uber.
side of the mountain.
We were on the wrong side of the mountain, so we're like totally.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
3 bottles of champagne.
When they
between
say
three
that, when they
dudes,
say
right?
the lift then closes at 3:30, they're not kidding.
but like
No,
okay,
that's well.
but we could see where we had to go.
Couple
You know what I'm
minutes.
saying?
Yeah.
You're on a mountain.
But not 3 bottles of time. No.
We're on a mountain. You can see where you're going. So we're like, who cares if the
Yep.
gondola's closing? We're just going to ski to the parking lot, right? What we didn't realize is we couldn't ski to the parking lot where we were, right? So we get done. We're loaded, right? And then they're like, no, dude, you got to either go down here and take
tram?
an Uber it. The tram shut down. Or you have to climb up this mountain and you could ski down to where you need to go. And we look and we're like half wasted. We're like, okay, we can climb that. There's no problem. It looks so close.
Yeah.
Dude, it took us like 15 minutes.
Plus,
I saw my heart rate. It was
high
like
altitude.
Yeah, in
you know what I
boots and
mean?
everything.
Like in
Boots,
and carrying your skis.
Carrying your skis.
3 bottles of champagne.
Three
in you.
bottles of champagne.
Oh,
So
that's
Fortunately, skis aren't
miserable.
that heavy anymore.
Dude,
Yeah, well,
we were,
Skis are
still no
so
fun to
light
carry.
nowadays.
so we trudge up this damn thing, and then we skied home. Skiing home after that was pretty fun, but it was only like a 10-minute ski down. But like,
Did you stay in Park City?
I stayed in Park City.
It's awesome.
What a trip,
Yeah.
man.
I love that High West distillery right there.
Yeah, man, we went there.
We stayed
Yeah.
right above the
That-
High West distillery
Isn't it-
last time we were there.
I've had
Isn't
a
it
bottle of
crazy?
High West.
It's
I think you
awesome.
got it for me.
Hey,
I
Rick.
think you got me a
Yeah.
bottle
Hey,
of
Rick
High West.
from Misprint. Thank you for sponsoring us all these seasons.
Oh,
You've
man.
sponsored us every year. You know,
We
And
appreciate
we
it.
appreciate it a lot.
Yeah.
That's why, honestly, and I'm not just saying this. I do all my printing with you, right?
Oh yeah,
I mean, 100% of it.
and it's completely appreciated. And
No,
my
seriously, and
staff
you guys are great.
Adores you guys when you guys
Whatever
walk
we need.
in.
I mean, like I have crazy things I need printed sometimes.
Metal
Like
business cards.
Boom, no problem.
Pant ripping metal business.
So
That's
challenge
gonna go down.
challenge Misprint with ideas that you have.
Absolutely.
And Rick and Teresa and everybody, they'll come through.
Jenny.
And they'll
They wrap cars.
They wrap cars.
Yeah,
So
that 219 day car.
Yeah, man. It's a lot
Haven't
of fun.
seen that one around
Yeah,
in a
that
while.
piece of shit car. I
Yeah,
haven't seen it.
where'd that go?
Somebody told me it got totaled.
Yeah, it got totaled.
I heard it did.
The guy who won it worked at Taco Bell because it was sitting in front of the Munster Taco Bell forever. And I was like,
Yeah,
Piece
that's
of
right.
shit car.
Yeah, man. It's like
We
good
gave away a
advertising.
car on
Our
219
Hammond
day.
store almost got totaled yesterday.
Oh, man.
Tesla flew into the
Tesla?
fence.
Self-driving?
Yeah, probably.
I don't know, but
You
it
know,
was bad. It was bad.
I heard a whole podcast on Tesla self-driving. They're using it doesn't work. The people in the car are literally beta testing it for Tesla, and they're the ones that are going to get all the bugs out by like getting
Killing
in the crashes.
themselves.
Getting
Yeah.
Right.
accidents.
They're literally, if you buy a Tesla and you're beta testing that, you have to pay extra money and you're beta testing it for
For them.
Tesla. So like if you're in an area where Teslas haven't really been, like if you're driving on the cliffs of California and a Tesla hasn't driven there, you're like totally the guinea pig.
Plus, I'd say
Yeah.
you've got to be an idiot to let the car self-drive on the cliffs of California.
But like
personally,
eventually
but
we're going to all be getting self-driven everywhere. I don't even think it's that far off.
It's probably not.
Right.
Jeff Speck said within 15 years.
Right. You go to some places where Teslas drive a lot and in like they have in like Las Vegas, they have like driverless cars because they're going like 15, 20 miles an hour and they've driven that route millions of times. So they know exactly what's to anticipate and what not to. It was interesting though. It was on the daily.
All right, man. Well, Rick, thanks for stopping by, brother.
Thanks, brother.
Appreciate
Good to see
it.
you, man.
Always good to see you.
Rick from Misprint in 2 locations.
Appreciate all the
Hammond and in-
publicity.
yeah, man. Thanks for sponsoring our show. We
Have
appreciate
fun
it.
in Tahoe.
Let's jump into Ron J. Prestomer. Ron J. Prestomer Insurance Agency has been located for decades right on Indianapolis Boulevard, serving all your insurance needs. They specialize in a wide variety of insurance products and services, including auto, home, business, life, and much more. The Prestomer Agency serves over 1,000 people and businesses in all Chicagoland and the Midwest. Call Ron, Ronnie, or Michael at 219-844-0103.
A Cantrell and Cantrell Attorneys at Law. Are you injured or in trouble with the law? Give us a call and schedule your consultation today with somebody who is in court and at the jail every day. Call John Cantrell at 219-554-4LAW. That's 219-554-4LAW, or visit their website at bettercallcantrell.com. John and his wife Kristen make a great team and are waiting to hear from you.
Tortillas Nuevo Leon is the gold standard in Mexican cuisine throughout the Midwest. Look for Tortillas Nuevo Leon's popular red and white label at your local grocery store and enjoy quality Mexican products made with local expertise.
Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón. Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia, de todo corazón.
Were you just kind of... I saw the yawn at the beginning of the dance, Lynn.
I was yawning.
She's waking up as the show goes on.
This is my wake up routine.
You finished strong, though.
Yeah.
you.
By the time Lindsay walks out of here, she's ready for the day. But
Prepared.
when she walks in, no, she is not.
I am
Let's
not.
just be honest.
I usually
Yeah,
just see her body just sitting there. She's kind of like
Still like
not moving
I heard her
much.
snore when I walked in today. So. Try Electronics. Try Electronics wants to be your complete communications provider. Try Electronics has been a leader in this industry for more than 55 years. They're dedicated to assisting their clients with system integration needs. Try Electronics has the expertise and experience to provide superior results for a wide variety of projects. For more information, call Try Electronics today at 1-800-722-6793. Another sponsor with us from the beginning.
Yes, thank you, Try.
Calumet Brewing. It's time to experience Michelob Ultra with only 95 calories, 2.6 carbs, and 4.2% alcohol by volume. It is the perfect way to keep your New Year's resolution in check. Whether you're a pro athlete or just an employee Olympics participant, the journey is only worth it if you enjoy it. That's why Michelob Ultra brews a light lager that's worth every single sip. So no matter if you're kicking back after a workout or enjoying a day out on the slopes, you're sure to enjoy a great beer. Head over to the Cal Brew or the Michelob Ultra websites and social media pages for details on this great family of beers. Enjoy the Ultra lifestyle with beers and cheers responsibly.
Thank you to our sponsors.
Thank you to our sponsors. All right, let's jump in here. There's something going on with John Vez and
this is good.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
We all get
Besties.
way too many political emails, but this threw John over the edge.
Yeah, I got an email from Marjorie, guys.
Maybe she's been listening.
That's what I was thinking. My first thought was she did this to troll me a little bit.
Really?
She knows I'm
'Cause you're
going at
supposed
her
to
on
be-
the pod.
And you're supposed to be on her
Like
team.
with her, yeah.
Exactly. But so I get this campaign email from Marjorie. I did not sign up for her list.
Mm-hmm.
Let
You
me
can't
put this
even
up on the
vote
screen
for
here.
her.
By the way, this email is actually is hilarious when I was reading it.
I haven't even read it. I'm going
Oh.
to be honest with you. I'm so pissed off about it. I didn't even read the email because I didn't sign up for your trash emails, man. You know?
Like,
how
give
did
me
I
money.
get on her list? So I thought maybe she listens to Lockpod. But I think it's
Probably.
more likely.
John's like, probably
This
not.
is my suspicion. I signed up for Jennifer Ruth Green's email list back
She
in the
sold
day.
it.
Oh, no way.
I think she gave it away.
She
or
sold it.
Yeah. So then I actually was skimming this because I'm kind of in this industry with IT and all this kind of thing and marketing.
Yeah, mass emails.
There's no link at the bottom to unsubscribe.
I don't even think that's legal.
Yeah, that's
No,
illegal.
it's not.
You have to provide a unsubscribe link.
It's not legal.
MTG.
Let me throw this up here real quick.
You should.
Oh, wow. Here you go.
Because I'm like pissed off, right? I don't like
John looked
Marjorie
it up.
as of late, you know. Do you know there was this act enacted in 2003 called the can spam legislation, where you have to make it easy. You have to put in an email to allow someone to unsubscribe. Marjorie's not doing this.
I can't believe she didn't do it. Like,
Why don't
what
you
is her
turn her in,
staff
man?
doing that? You can make a complaint. I think
You
you could do
could.
it like Fair
Yeah.
Debt Collection Act. I
You
think you
could do-
actually
Yeah,
file
you-
a complaint.
And get like $500
Really?
or something.
Let's file a complaint let's
Well,
file
you
a
could
complaint in
definitely-
federal court in Hammond.
You could definitely file something with the FTC.
Without a doubt.
For sure. Let's
And-
do it.
And this act is governed by the FTC.
Yeah. That makes sense. Telecommunications Commission.
So, anyways, you know, I just
But
don't.
you would file your
Marjorie, we're
complaint with the
coming for your
FEC
money.
because
Right.
it's a campaign violation.
Yeah, I think you do both. I think you're
Right,
right. Yeah,
right.
FEC and FTC.
Right.
So, anyways,
Drag her, John.
I don't like her anymore.
It doesn't even see at the bottom like who sent it, like in the sense of like did her campaign send it or
So I cropped
Stop
this
Antifa,
so it fit on the
sign
screen
up.
better, but it does say paid for
oh
by
it does okay.
Green.
So it's
for
got the
whatever.
disclaimer,
Yeah.
but not the unsubscribe link.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Hmm.
gotcha.
Interesting. Yeah.
So
All right.
I want to show you this clip before we move on.
Do you want to unsubscribe?
I do want to unsubscribe. Unsubscribe me, Marjorie. Check out this clip recently of Marjorie. I just don't think she's that bright.
No.
I know you guys have been saying this for a while, but there were some things I liked about her early on.
You know, it's really nice to agree with you on something.
I agree.
Check this out. This is her talking about how COVID messed up all the students.
It looks like she's at a committee here.
because of e-learning, not being
See?
in school.
We see the world the same way in
Okay.
that regard.
But this specifically, you can't like script something like it. She's talking specifically about how like our math proficiency in students went down, and then she goes on to mispronounce a large number.
Oh, this is great.
Okay, check this out.
To our children's math and reading levels is horrific. School closures brought them to the lowest levels in years. English 8th graders' math proficiency dropped by 7 points. Reading levels dropped by 2 points. There are 1,524,524 and 481.
Oh.
This is over 1 million.
Over 1 million.
Yeah.
Yes. She was, so in other words, her staff wrote the number down, didn't
No,
write
she
the
was
words
reading-
down. And
she
she
was
was
Didn't write
trying
it
to, and she was
phonetically.
trying to read.
She was reading the whole thing.
Yeah,
That was her
but I'm
problem.
just saying, like, they probably just put the numbers, and she was trying to interpret what the numbers were. She couldn't do it.
But like they gave her something to read.
without
She didn't read it before she went in there, and
No.
she was reading it for the first time.
Without a doubt.
And so like the thing is, she's like basically a mouthpiece for her staff, and she doesn't even read it before she spouts it.
And she tells her staff, I'm going to be in a committee here,
Give me
and I
some
need
good
stats
stuff,
on this.
right?
Right.
And then she doesn't even bother to read it before
Doesn't
she goes
study.
in there. Like at least Like, because honestly, Kevin and I and Lindsay and John are in here talking, but we have a script in front of us. We're not saying word for word.
And
I
we've
don't
met,
keep
and
us
we've
on
met
track.
on it and talked about it.
It's not like the first time I've ever seen it, you know?
Wow.
So, all right. Hey,
Good luck getting off that, John.
Thanks, John.
Thanks.
I think John's going to like where I'm going on this one, too.
All right.
Because, well, you know, first off, I'll be honest with the whole balloon thing. You know, I'm talking about China, and I made a prediction that the S&P 500 is going to drop a lot. The big reason I feel that way,
Still
there's a
have
lot
it
of
right
reasons.
here.
I still have it right here. A lot of the reason I feel that way is because of what's going on between China and the United States right now. And I don't know how many people understand how reliant America is and American businesses
Economy-wise.
are economy-wise upon the Chinese economy. And if we start slapping tariffs, and I just heard we're doing tariffs on Chinese tin comes into America, then China's going to respond and they're going to put a tariff on this. And if we keep on escalating this problem, we're going to have a catastrophic failure in our relationship with China, which is going to
On a
affect
macro level. It's a macroeconomics. It's not
going to
micro.
affect everybody that's listening to this podcast, regardless of where you live. It's going to be devastating because companies like Apple, companies like Tesla cannot operate without China. And they're going to have to completely reevaluate their business model, which will affect everybody. It's going to raise prices. So anyway, you know, the balloon incident, you know, I agreed at the time. In all seriousness, I thought I was of the opinion we should have shot it down earlier, like over Nebraska, Kansas, you know, in that area where there's lots of cornfields and there's lots of open space, and we shoot it down and we grab it. I was of the opinion of doing it then. Then we had 2 more spy balloons, and we're blasting spy balloons out of the air.
They probably weren't even spy balloons.
They're not even spy balloons.
Right.
They could be corporate balloons. But we're like sending fighter jets up to knock a balloon down, which is bad optics. It makes us look ridiculous, right?
agree.
So we look ridiculous.
Overreaction.
Overreaction. China's laughing at us. They're like, we put a balloon up in there, and they're sending a fighter jet. And it's costing millions of dollars in fuel.
And enraptured the United States enraptured Americans' minds for the whole week.
So China's laughing at us.
It's a fun week.
Now, here we are. We're about to do another thing that's an absolute joke to me, is there's a serious move to ban TikTok in America. It started off as, because TikTok is Chinese owned, okay? And there was a fear that China was monitoring all of our phones through TikTok to see what we like and don't like.
Put
and
content in that
put
could
information,
influence.
misinformation, sort of like Putin did when, you know, Donald Trump ran and won for president. They're worried that China's going to do the same thing. So there was a movement that started in the federal government to ban TikTok on all federal devices.
Not only started, I mean, they passed it, right? I mean,
I don't think that
yes,
has that
yes,
passed. Okay.
yes.
I mean, I get that. I'll be honest. I'm not opposed to that. Like, if you're on a government-owned computer, you shouldn't be looking at TikTok. Okay, and you know, especially in Washington D.C., where if there is an ability for China to spy and to get information from the government, we shouldn't allow that on government devices.
Yeah, I read that the president just gave the federal employees and everybody 60 days, maybe back in December, to get everything off their devices.
Good.
Agencies.
I don't disagree
Canada
with that.
just followed suit, and there's places around the world. I think European Union did the same thing.
That's fine on government devices.
Yes.
But like now the movement's taking shape. Like in India banned TikTok.
Yes. The whole
country.
Yes.
You can't get TikTok in India.
Billion people.
Banned. Illegal. You can't look at. And now the Congress, in a bipartisan effort, is looking at banning TikTok in America.
Whoa.
This is real. And I realize
impact people.
this is going to impact young people especially. This is going to impact the youth.
And
That
you.
look at,
You're a big TikTok fan.
I was watching TikTok the other day for an hour and a half.
See?
I was in a
No one-
bedroom with
Wow.
one of my friends because I couldn't sleep, and my buddy was asleep, and I didn't want to wake him up, so I just put my headphones in, and I was just an hour and a half watching TikTok.
You can get sucked into TikTok. I mean, I can, it's same way. Like, you can start it, and you're just like, keep going.
The thing about TikTok is the algorithm knows who you are and what you like, and it feeds you. I was
But
for
doesn't
an
that
hour
worry
and a half
you
just
that
like,
the Chinese are figuring out you?
who cares? The Chinese know I like skiing. They show me like people jumping off cliffs. The Chinese know
that in
I like
quotes,
the
skiing?
stock market, right? The Chinese know I like watching people dance, right? They know these things about me, and it's not a big deal. Who cares, right? Who cares?
Great time.
Like, look at my phone. I don't give a crap. If, you know, President Xi wants to see my phone, look at my phone.
There's no Hammond secrets on there.
I don't give a crap.
There's no city
Honestly,
of Hammond government secrets.
what this is going to do, though, is it's going to every elected official that supports this is going to piss off young America
Yeah.
and people like myself.
Maybe it'll get young people to vote.
I think it's absolute overreaction. I think it's a joke, and I hope these people reevaluate what they're about to do, because if they ban TikTok, I think it makes us appear like we're a bunch of losers. Weak. We're banning a dance app.
We're afraid of China.
China!
Well, it's
Oh!
like shooting down the balloon. Like, what? They can see like what underwear you have on probably from the satellites, and yet you're worried about a spy balloon.
I know.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
It's like, I think if you're China, I think you're right, Tom. I think if China, they're like laughing. This is great. We got them worried about TikTok and a spy balloon while we're building up our submarine and our Navy.
Right. And taking
building
islands,
literal
in the
islands in the. I was just going to say,
right, building islands and military bases in the middle of the ocean, and we're over here worried about balloons and TikTok.
Yep,
it's a joke what's going on, and we need to fix this country. And I tell you what, if these people that we're sending to Washington D.C. are making a mockery of America, which I think they are, it's up to us to replace them.
I think you've done a very nice job, Locomotive, at bookending this episode.
Yeah,
like you started with the wimpification of America, and you kind of ended up with like
we had a theme.
We can't be wimpy about China.
John, wimpification of America, is that our title today?
Oh my God, yeah, absolutely.
That's a good title too.
And I agree. There's this growing group and movement where they want you to feel no pain, risk, inconvenience, nothing, and that's not life.
And I think it's bipartisan,
totally
by
right.
the way. I don't think it's one party. I
We're
think
like
it's both sides.
Honestly, 20 years from now, they're going to be passing legislation where they clean our backsides after we go to the bathroom, right? Oh, we don't want people to have to reach down there, right? So we're going to have this. It's so freaking crazy what's going on in this country. I'm worried. I'm worried that we're raising a generation of total wimps.
Well, the good thing is that the Left of Center podcast, LOCPOD, is not wimpy.
We're doubling down on the toughness.
All
because, honestly, America, you know how we became a great country, Kevin? There's a bunch of people that came over here and risked everything to get here. And when they got here, they busted their ass to build stuff and to own things and to be, capitalists. And now we have a bunch of people. You know how many people, as a mayor, how many people come up and ask for free shit from me all the time as mayor? Could you give me this? Can you give me this? What about this? Can you replace my roof? It's like, fix your damn roof. You're a homeowner. And if you can't afford to fix your roof, you got to move out.
Sell out.
We're not handing shit out. That's not what government does. And if you're that kind of person, I'm not your guy. I'm not going to sit here and create programs where we're giving you free shit. It's just not the way I operate. And we are raising a generation of people, and that's how they look at government. They look at government like, what's you going to give me? It's not what America's about.
Waiting for the handout.
It's not what America's about.
All right. Get back to work, America. Wrap us up. Welcome back. Whoa.
That's what you get after.
That's why you come. Yeah, I was going to say.
This
the
is
reset button has been hit.
If I'm pissed, it's all Ron Klain's fault. We agree.
I
with
agree.
That. Okay, cool.
All right.
Thanks for listening. Lindsay, you look beautiful.
Unfortunate presentation that just was.
It was not unfortunate, Todd Young.
A great presentation.
Todd Young would be proud of me. Todd Young would be
Yes.
proud of me what I just said, because Todd Young's not a wimp either, by the way. And him and I are sort of friendly now. So
And
it's funny.
he probably thought you were a good candidate.
He definitely thought I was a good candidate.
Ron
he
Klain,
knew I got
he's
sold
probably
out.
like, Ron Klain's a jag-off,
Dude,
too.
when Todd Young talked to me, he felt bad because he's like, "You're a great candidate, and you got totally sold out." I mean, honestly, he was basically telling me that. He's like, "I can't believe these guys hung you out to dry like they did."
Wow.
That night?
Yeah,
Election
he was
night?
so nice.
Wow.
He was so nice, and I was nice to him. And I said, "You're never going to hear from me again, Todd. I promise you." I told him that. I was like, "I'm done saying Todd Young. And if I say anything about Todd Young, it's going to be compliments."
Unless Ron Klain runs, then you're getting
right.
in,
Oh,
and,
my
and
God.
then you're gonna
Well,
you're gonna beat Tom Klain. Then you're
if Ron Klain runs, I'm in. I'm saying the magic
All
words.
right.
Woo.
Wow.
Right.
Look out. Back to the Senate race in 2024.
Yeah.
My beautiful daughter. Thank you, Lindsay. It's good to see you, babe.
thank
Thanks
you.
for coming last night and for the beautiful gift. John Vez, great
Hey.
to see you. You look
Yep.
beautiful also.
Thanks, man.
I appreciate you, man. And thanks for putting on another great show. Kevin Smith.
Yes, sir.
Good to see you, buddy. And your brother in here last night, like
Yeah.
holding his show with millions of listeners right out of our studio.
I
That's
love
pretty
it.
cool.
He did 10 seconds on the air. He had more listeners than Lock Pod's ever had. So it's great to see Matt Money yesterday. It's great to see you again, Kevin. Thank you
Yes,
for waiting
sir.
for me. By the way, guys, thanks for pulling down last week.
Oh, yeah.
4-8 did a great job, and so did Phil. And
Great.
happy birthday, Phil. 50th birthday. And coming live from the Locomotive, who's back in business, Tom McDermott. Nice to see you all. Don't forget to download those apps in Vietnam and Japan. And we will see you guys on Friday with another great show.